And welcome back to the Homemade Podcast of Sports with your host, Jay Pops. Guys, today's date is July 7th, 2021. This is the second ever live podcast. All right. So once again, I thank all of you guys for making history with me. All right. First and foremost, man, shout out to Mr. Olin Buchanan for writing that article and also going on the Texags morning radio show and giving me that huge shout out, man. I cannot thank you enough for that. I thank all of the Aggies that have sat there and listened to me and things of that nature, man. This is a long grind. I thank all of you guys for getting me up to now 801 subscribers. So I'm asking you guys this here. Please help me once again get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. I'm calling all the Aggies. I'm calling all the Aggies all around the world. And even if you're not an Aggie and you just enjoy this podcast, I'm calling to all of you guys all around the world. Help me get to 1,000. Please hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. But also, guys, on this latest edition of the Homemade Podcast of Sports, and forgive me for if my video resolution kind of goes in and out. You guys got to work with me. Like I say, man, this is the second ever live podcast, so please continue to work with me on this. Trust me, guys, it will get better. I don't have all the fancy setup like you guys see from everybody else and stuff like that. All right, those guys been doing it. I'm just now doing it live. All right, but anywho, let me quit rumbling at the mouth. Anywho, on this latest edition of the Homemade Podcast of Sports, we'll be talking a little bit about the NIL. Because I feel that these young men need to know this, and I feel like when these guys sign these deals for these NILs, the ones that's actually giving them the deal, they're not asking them to look over anything and stuff like that. So I just want to say this here, man. And I feel like this young man really needs to hear this. I'm pretty sure he's heard this from others now. If he hasn't, shame on you guys, because you guys should have told him something. So the five-star offensive tackle, Kevin Banks Jr. Immediately, I want to say maybe like a day or two after, man, I seen this on his Twitter. And trust me, if I'm talking about this, then that means other people are talking about this as well. This is what he wrote on Twitter. If any company want to work together, hit my DM. So at that point, I know for sure that this NIL thing is kind of getting out of hand. Like I say, by all means, I'm not against the whole NIL, but I am against it until a certain point of it in which I know that they're getting these young men. These young men aren't looking at those contracts. Those young men aren't looking at anything that they're signing, man. They're just seeing the dollar signs and that's it. Trust me, I get it. So this here is to the parents and to others that are hanging around Mr. Kevin Banks and stuff like that, man. Once again, he committed to Oregon out there. Please make that young man take that tweet down. I'm pretty sure he's probably taking it down by now. And I haven't checked anything like that, but please make the young man take it down. I do not want to see these young men ruin their careers over this NIL over this NIL stuff. Like I say, by all means, man, get your money. I'm not going to stop you from making your money because hell, I make money of my own. So who am I to tell you not to make? But do not do this at such a young age. Posting that like that, and he doesn't need much come out until 2022. So I don't even much know how that even works, But I'm just speaking out to the parents of the young men, and like I say, to people that are surrounding Mr. Kevin Banks. Please, by all means, make him take that down, because what it's going to ultimately do is it's going to affect other things. It's going to affect other things, and it's going to make other doors open up that shouldn't even much be open. Okay, so once again, I'm telling you now, And this is not only the Kevin Banks. These are some other young men as well, man. Please get somebody to read over your contracts. Get somebody to read over those things. Uh, these here are the two main schools where I haven't heard anything but probably like one player at least. Bryce Young from Alabama. Of course, everybody want to jump on that train. He's the only one that I've heard has came out and said that he's now partnering with somebody. Uh, the biggest one who I heard everybody talk about is Bo Nix with his T thing. I really have to check on that. I haven't seen none of that at all. So I guess Bo Nix is doing it too. B. John Robinson, he's over there at UT, Texas. He's like the only one that I've heard that has done something. I think he's charging for cameo now or whatever. I haven't heard anybody at Ohio State doing anything. And these were the main teams specifically that I was kind of really, really looking for. Haven't heard anyone at Ohio State. If you guys have heard something, please drop a comment, let me know. What's another school? I'm just talking about the Blue Bloods. I haven't heard anybody at Notre Dame. Hadn't heard anybody over there. Hadn't heard anybody at Clemson. Come out with an NIL thing. I believe in maybe like one or two people at LSU that has done something. And for us Aggies, I want to say it's at least three guys, or maybe just two. I know Jalen Watermeyer and Isaiah Spiller, but I know for sure that those two young men parents have read over everything, or they've gotten somebody to read over. So once again, man, I'm just speaking out to the NIL. Please, please do not let that ruin these young men careers. I will hate to see that. Is a lot of young men out there who has very, very promising careers, man. So please do not let that ruin it. All right. Anywho, guys, let's move along from that. I just want you guys to hear that out. Let's move along from that, okay? So on this edition, we'll be getting into, and this is a huge question from myself and also to this guy here. And I wish I would have screenshotted this, but I can go to it. To Mr. Clint Jones in the Aggie Sports Life group, man. This is the message that he said. He said, okay, J Pops, we need to hear something good and exciting after the emotional letdown from the fourth weekend. Well, I'm here to tell you this here, man. This is a question that that rarely gets asked, and this is a question that people rarely want to think about. For one thing, and first off, Texas A&M has about 20 to 22 starters coming back. All right. Mainly all on defense. I'm going to say that once again, mainly all on defense. Have about 20 to 22 starters coming back. So these are the guys. And I'm asking this question here. Will that Texas A&M backfield be among the elites in this upcoming season? Also, will Leon O'Neal finally take that next and last step into becoming elite? Because you guys have to face it, man. The young man was a top 100 player, all right, to begin with. He was a top 100 player that came out in the 2018 class. He 2018 to 2017 class, he was a top 100 player, all right? So you guys have to understand, as soon as he hits that elite button and stays at that elite level, that young man is going to excel like no other. All right. So we have to really, really understand where that backfield is going and where that backfield should be. But can Leon O'Neal step up and take that leadership role on that backside of defense? Can Leon O'Neal step up and take that leadership role on the entire defense period? So we're going to get into this. So, of course, I want to give you guys some accurate readings. So on the scoring defense, and if you guys didn't know, this is the reason why they're praising Alabama so much. All right, let's just go ahead and put that on out there. This is the reason why they're praising Alabama so much. On scoring defense, Alabama was number 13. Does that say anything about their cornerbacks? To me, in my opinion, no, it does not. It does not say anything about the, although they got some good ones. I know that for sure. But that doesn't say anything about that cornerback unit that they have coming back being elite. Okay. So this is another reason why they're not kind of looking at Texas A&M. The next unit, I'm just talking about some SEC here. The next unit after that was Georgia, with scoring defense. All right, I'm just talking about scoring defense here. Scoring defense. So Alabama was 13, Georgia was 17. So if you go down, and don't get me wrong, this is a long way, man. Texas A&M has come a long way with scoring defense in the SEC alone. A&M stopped at number 28. They were number 28. Like I say, once again, this is the reason why they don't want to give our defense the credit that they deserve. Now, I've heard everybody say, oh, yeah, man, they will have a damn good defense because they have so many starters coming back. But when it comes to the rankings, so far as like the rankings are concerned, in which I know a lot of you guys don't care about, I'm going to answer it before you guys tell me about it. The rankings, when it comes to cornerbacks, you hardly even see A&M cornerbacks even on there because they don't want to give them the respect that they deserve. That unit has improved over time, man. And to be honest with you, I can't even much just fully remember because you guys have to let me know, man, for all the old Aggie fans, man, please don't take that out of context when I say that. But to all of the older ads, you guys have to come and put me on a lot of history. I cannot remember off the top of my head who was the last shutdown cornerback unit. I cannot remember the names off the top of my head. I'm sorry. But this unit now that we have, we are going in the right direction and we're improving year in and year out under Mike Elko. So that's what honestly gets me, in which I don't understand why everybody tries to continue to leave A&M out the mix like they're just unheard of. The guy, Jalen Jones, who was a freshman last year, he took his freshman lump, in that second game against Alabama, in which, in my mind, was a blown coverage. But he took his lump and he ran with it. So far, going throughout that whole season, nobody wants to throw on Jalen Jones' side anymore. And there's a lot of people that come on here and they won't admit that because they got on the Alabama and LSU blinders. Hell, they love to say that the Aggies have on blinders, but shit, most of y'all got on the LSU and Alabama blinders. All right. But it's a lot of people that doesn't want to admit at where this team is going. So, anywho, man, let me keep on going here. Let me solidify myself. So, go to this. Hold up now. So, the third down percent defense. I'm going to go to this rank. Come on now. Man, these computers run slow. So on third down percentage defense, man, Texas A&M ranked 23rd. That's a huge, huge step on where we used to be. All right, I'm gonna say that once again. That's a huge, huge step on where we used to be. Once again, Texas A&M on third down percentage, defensive wise, we ranked 23rd. That's why that defense was ranked in the top 5 up there, man. They were ranked heavily up in the top 5 up there. For whatever reason. Why is it not going to? Well, we're gonna keep it right there. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, it won't go to it. Online electronics. But anywho, please guys forgive me on that. I don't know what's happening right there. Didn't start messing up on me. But anywho, man, I know for sure for that passing defense, for passing defense overall, man, I think we were ranked. I know the last time I looked at last year, man, for sure. We were ranked in like the 60s and 70s, man. So that's why I honestly asked that question. Hey, can we step up and can we make more plays on that passing side of the ball? Because, man, look, you guys have to think about this. First of all, if Leon O'Neal, in which I know he can, in which is one of my favorite players, man. Like I say, I've been watching that guy ever since he had been recruited. If that young man solidifies his stance so far in a coverage type of safety, because we all know that he can hit at the end of the day. All right, that's nothing to that's nothing to be explained right there. He can hit. If he steps into that next level, steps up to that next level so far as a coverage safety, that will lead the way for a lot of people out there. But it's a lot of people that keep on getting that keeps on forgetting about Demani Richardson, which is going to be a beast coming back this year. He has something to prove. Those guys want it more than ever. Like I said, it's Jalen Jones already there. Jalen Jones, in my mind, doesn't have to really prove anything, but he's going to continue to work and work and work. We already see what he can do, and we already see what the future is with him going forward. These are the guys that's still out there doing it and has done it in a big way. I just feel like they need to step up in another way. Miles Jones, he pretty much solidified himself going on throughout the entire season. You know, he showed that he could actually live up to what he can be. Another one is Brian George. I believe Brian George will be a damn good guy. Another one was Josh Moulton. I hope that old Josh Moulton will come back when the season starts. But I know if I can remember, he was a guy that messed up, I believe, his ACL, man. I don't know how bad the ACL injury was, but he messed up his ACL in the spring game. If you guys can remember, he was the one that went down in the end zone. If you guys watched that spring game, he went down in the end zone and he stayed down in the end zone and held his knee. But that was him. So I know that if he comes back, he's going to play a huge, huge role. Like I say, Brian George is another one. I think Brian George is going into his senior year because he was already a junior coming from community college. So I believe that he's going into his senior year now. So Brian George is another. Also, man, there's a lot of people that forgets about Eric Young for whatever. Please do your research on Eric Young. See how good Eric Young was. The only problem is that Eric Young hasn't been able to get on the field because of all of the talent that's in front of him. That's why we're high on this Jimbo Fisher. That's why when I just looked at the rankings for the SEC coaches, Jimbo Fisher was number 2. All of a sudden he's number 2. So now people are believing him. That's why we're high on Texas A&M and what they're going to do this year. All I'm asking is, can that defensive back unit step up and be the playmakers? The defensive line, I'm not going to talk about that because the defensive line has already been talked about already. I don't need to say anything else about the defensive line. I will let you know all the names, though. All of the names for that defensive line stands at this here. Marvin Leal, Jaden Peavy, who else, my guy? Clemens, and Tyree Johnson. Tyree Johnson is the forgotten guy. I'm gonna say that once again. Tyree Johnson is the forgotten guy on that line. But going into that rotation, we got Fidel Diggs. We got I believe Shamar Turner. We got Tomas Adele. I cannot remember. Man, that guy name always kind of screws me up. But we got Adele. And also we got McKinley Jackson. What else do you guys want from this D line that you hadn't already seen before? What else do you guys want? There's nothing else that you guys can tell me that you want from that D line. Only thing that you can say is, give me a couple of more sacks this year. And in my mind, I believe that we will probably be number 5, be in the top 5 in the sack category this year, just because of that, just because of the experience on the defensive line. Defensive backfield, we should have a phenomenal amount of interceptions in that backfield. I'm going to say that once again, we should have a phenomenal amount of interceptions in that backfield. But not only that, we should have a phenomenal amount of pass breakups. This is my coffee, guys. But those pass breakups should be off the hinges. It should be about 20 to 25 pass breakups in between the first 4 games. That's elite. You got about 25 pass breakup. That's elite. Why not? Get there. You guys have been working hard enough to do it. Get there. Be better in the backfield of things. All right. Please be better in that regard. That is going to make that unit a shutdown unit. And that's going to take a lot off of your offensive unit in quote unquote is inexperienced and has quote unquote question marks all over everywhere, including quarterback and the O line for whatever reason. Why they're I don't know why they're asking those questions, but whatever. It has question marks. Of course, on that next episode, we'll get into the offensive line because I'm tired of hearing it. Also, uh please be looking for this here, and I'm going to piss a lot of people off. It will be a question asked: Bryce Young versus Haynes King. Who's going to win? If you guys got an answer right there, then you guys let me know. Bryce Young versus Haynes King. That's going to be the number one topic, and we're going to let that loose. All right. Now with these lives, guys, please make sure that you guys tune in at 12 noon on Mondays and Wednesdays. And this is just for the summer, all right? Because we have media days coming up in just a bit, and that lets you guys know that football is getting closer and closer. All right. The Kent State game, this just a reminder to you all for the Aggie fans out there and for people that just want to come see Texas A&M in general. For the Kent State game, which is the first game of the season, it will be at about 7:30, if I can remember right. It'll be at about 7:30, and that will be a red, white, and blue game. Once again, the Kent State game will be a red, white, and blue game. For anybody that's showing up and trying to figure out why everybody has on red, white, and blue, it's because of I think it's because of Labor Day, I know for sure. But that will be a red, white, and blue game, just to let you guys know again. All right, so please be on the lookout for that. That Kent State game is going to be sold out. So a lot of people that's going to look at us and be like, man, this game it's going to be sold out because we miss it. We have not been there in a while. We miss it. We miss it. We miss it. All right, so please be ready and be prepared for that game. I cannot wait. I will be there in full effect. All right, and just like I know you guys will. But let me look over to my right hand side over here and look at what you guys coming. Shout out to Boomer G21. And this is what he said. The whole defense should get better next year, including the secondary. Leon O'Neal showed improvement last year, and this is going to be a showcase year for the NFL. Hey, but first of all, shout out to you and thank you for tuning in and subscribing to the live. I've already said it. So you weren't saying anything that I didn't say. I believe that Leon O'Neal knows himself that he has 100% a full Aggie crowd behind him. The only thing that we want to see from Leon is, can he do it? Is the time not too late to do? In our minds, we already know it's not too late to do. All we want him to do is just do it, baby. Just do it. Don't even look back. Don't even look to the side. Don't worry about what everybody is saying. Just do it. And if you guys haven't followed Leon O'Neal on Twitter, I suggest you guys do. I've seen him post a couple of things, and he's even posted to the Longhorn fans. And before I get off of here, I'm gonna talk about that as well. He even posted up to Longhorn fans that he doesn't have any ill will towards any of those guys, nor to the Oklahoma fans or any of that, man. So I commend that young man for that. He was expressing out there, hey, he's trying to change up a couple of things going forward. So I commend him on that. But to Boomer G21, yes, I do agree with you on that. This will be a phenomenal year for Leon O'Neal going forward. Please believe that. All right, we have another one here. Oh, Mr. Chad Smith. Can't stick around, but hopefully I can watch this later. Oh, yes, you can. Please. The live stream, it saves itself, people. So if you guys are not able to catch it on you guys' lunch break, in which is what I will call this, because I'll be doing this, like I say, on Mondays and Wednesdays at 12 noon. Okay. And this is the lunch break special. All right, this is a lunch break edition and a lunch break special for you guys going forward. So anytime you guys go on lunch break at 12, and which I know most of you do, please click on that YouTube, put your headphones in, or let others hear. Hey man, we've been listening to some good football. So trust me, yes, Mr. Chad, this will still be on here, or it didn't go anywhere. It saved itself at the end of the day. All right. Terry Williams, J Pops, what's up, man? What's up, Miss Terry? That guy's been following me for a long time, so shout out to him, man. Mr. Terry, he's been one of my biggest fans. Mr. Terry, hey man, we gotta catch up one day. Hey, have a couple of beers, watch the game, stuff like that, man. This is another one on here. Boomer G21 again. By the way, Jay, it was great to hear OB from Texas giving you a shout out. Yes. I thank Mr. OB for that one. And if he's around and if he's watching this live, I thank him even more, man. So I thank Olin Buchanan for doing that for me. He just don't know. He started a whole wave, in which I got a comment on yesterday from one of the videos and saying, hey, man, heard your name on Texas. Figured I'd check you out. So I thank you guys for that. Terry Williams want to make that Kent State game and Alabama game as well. Well, I'm here to tell you this, Miss Terry. I'm going to both of them. I'm going to both of them. I'd already look. I work on Sundays, and I requested that Sunday off after the Alabama game, just to make sure that if it's a night game, that I can go down there and probably sleep at a hotel and then come on back home on Sunday. That's how amped I am for the Alabama game. All right. So trust me, I'll be at both of them. Come on out, because they're going to need that support, baby. We're the 12th man. So why not make it that way? Terry Williams again. I look for the Money Richardson to do well this year, as well as O'Neal. I feel like if those two guys can have a phenomenal season, or it could go either or, those guys will feed off one another. And that will essentially make that Texas A&M backfield just look so much elite and look so much experienced, to where if they throw deep shots, hey, by all means, if you complete it, you can't be mad at them. That's what we're looking for so far as the Texas A&M backfield. If they're going to complete a deep ball and they complete it, by all means, by us knowing that our backfield is elite and good, we can't get mad at that. All we can say is, damn, they got us. They call us slick. All right. That's what we're looking for so far as this Texas A&M football program in the backfield of things. All right. So, yeah, just remember that. I'm on the same page with you. Tim Moore, great show. Gig. Hashtag gig 'em, Tim. Hashtag gig 'em. So, once again, man, you guys have been great to me, man. I cannot ask much more. All I'm asking for this time is just to help me get to 1,000 subscribers before the season starts. All right. We have about 2 months. We got 2 months to get this thing up to 1,000. Let's make it happen. Hell, Jimbo Fisher is doing his best to spread this Aggie brand globally. So why not I help him as well? But also not him, but the athletic departments in general, period, going forward. Let's spread this thing. Trust me, guys. There will be some more sports that I'll be talking about going forward. All right. I'll just specifically stay on football for right now, because that's what I know. But as soon as I start looking at other things, I will jump into that. Before I get off of here, though, shout out to Mississippi State. I know it's been like, what, two weeks after they won that. Shout out to the Mississippi State Bulldogs getting their first ever college baseball World Series title. And I believe that's their first national title, period, in school history. So shout out to those guys. They've been waiting a long time for it. All right. Also, this is another thing I want to talk about, man, before I get up off of here. Billy Luch had put some out there, just trolling the Longhorn fans. A lot of them take it personal. A lot of them don't. He trolled out there that, Texas needs A&M more than Texas A&M needs Texas, and which is something that I agree with him on. I agree with him on the wholeheartedly. I believe that one program is going up, and meanwhile, another program has ultimately went down. Not to say that they're going to continue to go down, but one program is essentially just moving up. A lot of people like to say that ever since Texas A&M was moved to the SEC, we're only the 4th best team. You know, so now that I don't hear that talk anymore, I don't know if you guys do. I don't hear that talk anymore. Now it's, well, Texas A&M is the second best program. So what you gonna do? You gonna go over there and be program is gonna be the second best, or you gonna come to a program that has a brand out, you know, like out this world? This here, Texas A&M BS, man, this bull crap has to stop. One thing, guys, we're not gonna meet up. We're not gonna meet up on regular terms anymore. All right. For any Texas fans that's listening, because it's a lot of them that come down here and listens as well. And OU fans, y'all need to hear this too, because now y'all start to talk crap to us. The last thing I remember from OU fan was saying this here. Oh, look at them. Look at them when we playing North Carolina. Oh, man, look at them. Oh, man, we'll beat stuff out of Texas. Come on, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because the last time that you guys met up, Oklahoma was by far the way better team, Texas A&M in 2012. And Johnny himself, of course, he had the team with him. Johnny himself ran loops around y'all asses, and y'all was pissed off and mad. And now y'all talking about y'all be, come on, man, stop. Anywho, but to the Texas fans, to the Texas program, the rivalry will not be renewed. It is a lot of us that has accepted it and moved on. Obviously, it's a lot of Texas fans that haven't accepted that though, because it's one guy specifically post on Twitter all day long about what Texas has done as opposed to Texas A&M. He posted some out, the last one the other day, talking about the Jim Throat Award winners and defensive backs in the league. Texas has 11 defensive backs in the league. A&M doesn't have none. Jim Throat winners, Texas has a couple, A&M has 0. I'm here to tell you this, man. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that at all. What these kids care about is winning. It's not about the event. It's not about the individual awards. It's not about that. It's about a team thing. And that is why Texas is at where they're at, because they're all individual. Nobody works as a team. You're showing people that Texas not only works individually, but Texas holds a lot of memories and sticks with those memories, and that's all that they can live by. That's all they can live by. Once again, man, I remind everybody around the world that's watching this show live, Texas A&M hadn't won a national title since 1939. Hadn't won a conference title in about, I want to say, what has it been, almost 15 years now? 15, 20 years, something like that. We're working to get there. Texas A&M is working to get there. They're climbing up the ladder. We fell down the ladder a couple of times, and most of the time we've gotten back up. We can live with it because we know that there's more up ahead. We know that there's more up ahead. This isn't the only option, man. This isn't the only option. This isn't the only part where Texas A&M football stops. No, we'll keep going. We will keep going. Texas A&M will never fold. Shit, we're in the SEC. We have to play 3 monster teams. First of all, I told you guys like this before. SEC West, period, has 3 national title coaches in football, so far as football is concerned. 3 national title coaches. One is Nick Saban, who has won multiple. Number 2 is Ed Orgeron, who has won 1. And number 3 is Jimbo Fisher, who has won 1. Texas A&M did what they had to do. Now they're getting all other athletic departments in line and together. We knew what we had to do. We just had to go out and do it. Now, you guys sit here all around the world and witness Texas A&M bring in not 1, not 2, but 3 top 10 recruiting class on average right now, as we speak, on average. Ever since Jimbo Fisher's been here, Texas A&M average recruiting rankings is 9th overall. I'm gonna say that once again. Texas A&M average recruiting rankings is 9th overall. What else do you guys want? What else do you guys want? Texas fans are mad at that. You guys have not had the number 1, number 2, number 3, number You guys have had about 5 top 10 recruiting classes in the past what decade? I know you guys at least had about 5 top 10 recruiting classes in the past decade. What do you guys have to show for? Nothing. Nothing. You guys have nothing to show for. Nothing at all. But instead, you guys love to try to bash Texas A&M. First and foremost, we'll let you guys have it. All right. Everybody around the world knows that Texas record is what 79 and 33 in what 5 or 1 or something like that. We know that we're on the losing end of that record. That doesn't affect us. That doesn't affect our recruiting at all. That doesn't. We don't talk about that. For what, man? The rivalry isn't here anymore. We're worried about the SEC. How can we take down Alabama and LSU in the same damn year? That's what our focus is. The focus is on Texas, and it's not going to be on Texas for a very long time. You guys will either meet us in the playoffs, or you guys will meet us when we're having a bad goddamn year. We probably went 6-6 or something, in which we haven't went 6-6 period ever since we've been in the SEC. I'll tell you guys that all the time, and a lot of you guys act like y'all don't believe it. Y'all don't know nothing about that. We haven't went 6-6, man. Now we went 7-6. We hadn't went 6-6. Has Texas went 6-6? Yes, they have. Has Texas went 4-8? Yes, they have. And them hadn't had a losing season. What we're in 2021 in the last 9 years now, and don't plan on having one. We're planning on being undefeated this year, and that's just that. That's the motto. We're planning on being undefeated, and we're not going to stop until we be undefeated. Okay, we're planning on going to playoffs this year. That's the whole goal. And as soon as we get there, you can best believe them tickets are going to be sold out. That's the whole goal. It isn't on Texas anymore. It isn't on Texas, man. It's on bigger things. It's on winning bigger games. We have to play Alabama. Alabama is by far better than Texas will ever be. We have to play LSU. LSU by far is better than Texas will ever be. These are very talented teams. We play in the Southeastern Conference. We're not in the Big 12 anymore. I'm sorry. Only one over there is Oklahoma. You guys have to deal with it. Only one over there is Kansas. I'm going to say that once again, Kansas, Jayhawks, and you guys have to deal with it. One over there is TCU, and you guys have to deal with Gary Patterson. Kansas State as well, you know. Congratulations to you guys for getting win in Manhattan, you know, which hadn't happened in forever. Congrats on that. You guys got to win out there. Build on that. Go on. Playing a Big 12 already. I mean, that's just where you guys at. Focus on Texas Tech. Why doesn't Texas Tech get mentioned with you guys? Why doesn't TCU get mentioned with you guys? Why doesn't Baylor get mentioned with you guys? It's always Texas A&M. For whatever reason, Texas comes at Texas A&M ever since we've left. For whatever reason, Oklahoma comes at Texas A&M ever since they've left. For whatever reason, Texas, okay, I ain't gonna say anything about it. I've seen 1 or 2 Texas Tech fans come at Texas A&M and say what they had to say. And they hurry up and burnt out. You better do that because you know you flat out wrong for stop. All right. But anywho, man, you got focus on going to Pac-12. Pac-12 needs some help. Why not go and help them? All right. But anywho, guys, that's it for today, man. I will have to save that for a later time. We'll get back into that one before the whole season starts. That should be probably one of the most watched ones, but we'll get into that before the season starts. All right. But anywho, man, I love all of you guys. Please continue to tune in. Like I say, this will be labeled as the lunch break special going forward. Still a homemade podcast, sports baby, but this will be labeled as the lunch break special. Once again, just until the summer is up, Mondays and Wednesdays is when this live will go on at 12 noon. All right. I love all of you guys out there, and to the Aggie fans that have been so loyal. I cannot wait to see you guys again for the Kent State game. All right. #GigaMegs.